What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Today I'm going to talk about some stories that's going on in Detroit. And the first one will be a $25 million lawsuit that Detroit is facing from a woman that was shot by Detroit police 6 times. That's number one. I got three altogether.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Maurice Davis. I'm a civil rights attorney. I'm attorney representing Miss Tracy Allen. We're here today because my client, Miss Tracy Allen, was shot 6 times by a Detroit police officer. 6 times during an encounter where she posed no physical threat to that officer. There was no justification for the use of this deadly force. She survived, but she'll live with those lifelong consequences, that physical pain, that emotional trauma, and the lasting consequences of that moment for the rest of her life. Let me be clear, this case is not about being anti-police. It's about accountability. It's about the United States Constitution. It's about seeking justice for my client's violation of her rights. It's about the basic principle in this country that no person, especially an innocent civilian, should fear being killed during a routine traffic stop. A routine traffic stop about a plate violation or a tint or speeding, whatever the officer used to justify pulling my client over, he was not justified in shooting her. On the day of this incident, my client, Tracy Allen, was terrified. She truly believed she was going to die. No one should ever be in that situation. No one should feel that their life can be taken without warning and without consequence. The lawsuit that we filed yesterday seeks justice for Miss Allen. She demands accountability from the officer who pulled the trigger. She demands accountability from the city of Detroit for a pattern and practice of deliberate indifference and a failure to train that officer. We're suing the officer in his official capacity and the city of Detroit for employing this cowboy who violated my client's civil rights and shattered any sense of safety that she has. The officer chose to use excessive force, and that choice led to my client being shot 6 times in various places throughout her body. The law requires accountability and answers. This case is about more than Tracy Allen. It's about sending a message that violence against innocent citizens must stop. Police officers, they are entrusted with enormous power, and that power comes with responsibility. When that responsibility is abused, the courts are the proper place to ensure that accountability. Ms. Allen, she sits here today, she's a survivor. She's strong, she's courageous, she's a mother of 5. She's standing up for herself, she's standing up for her children, and for every person who believes that their life.
This is sad to hear. And it's a blessing to see her here right now, though, because what the background is that she was shot 6 times by Detroit police during a routine traffic stop. We're not sure. I'm not sure as of what happened to the police officer. We do know that she is filing a lawsuit, a $25 million lawsuit against the officer, not only the officer, but the city of Detroit.
Should not depend on a split-second decision made without justification. And we look forward to presenting our case in court. I want to give Ms. Allen an opportunity to describe how she felt that day. She'll touch a little bit about She'll touch a little bit on what happened to her, but mostly on how she felt that day during that encounter with the police officer.
Can she scoot up just a little bit?
Yeah. Just scoot up a little bit. Ms. Allen, take your time. I know it's going to be hard, but tell the press where you were going that day and how you felt when you initially were pulled over by that officer.
I was going home. I was leaving Walmart.
You were getting some things for your children, right?
Yes,
Okay, you grabbed some Halloween.
costumes.
Okay.
And was on my way back home.
Okay, and then what happened?
I got pulled over. As I was getting pulled over, I asked God to protect me as I was getting pulled over.
You felt something wasn't right initially?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And then how'd you feel during the encounter when the officer walked up?
I didn't even understand why I was getting pulled over. So he explained it why, and I disagreed.
Okay. And at some point, the officer escalated, right?
Yes.
Correct.
He pulled out a firearm.
No, not at that point. He asked me for my license and registrations and proof of insurance. I gave it to him. My insurance was on my phone. I guess I was moving too slow for him.
Okay.
So he began to try to argue with me. We went back and forth, and I asked for a supervisor several times. He didn't give it to me, so I dialed 911. I told the operator that I feared for my life and asked her to stay on the phone with me. After that, he called for backup. The backup officer pulled up and pepper sprayed me. At that point, I was already outnumbered. So I pulled my vehicle and drive, and I pulled off.
And not towards officers or anything, correct?
No,
Okay. And then at some point, talk about when the officer opened fire.
I was on.
What were you doing?
I was on my way to the police,
Okay.
and they blocked me in. Once they blocked me in, first he was in front of my car, and he ordered me to get out. He had already had his gun out, so I thought I was going to get shot in my head. So he moved from the front to the side. As he moved to the side, he asked me to get out the car twice. I shook my head no.
And he's
Yeah.
pointing the firearm at you,
Yeah.
correct?
That's when he began to shoot my truck up. As he shot my truck up, I pulled off. I didn't know I was hit until I got to the light. After I got to the light, I kept going until I made it to the police station and told them that he shot me.
Okay. How'd you feel?
Thought I was gonna die.
Any questions?
First off, really sorry this happened to you, Tracy. As you look back on this situation, well, first, how long were you in the hospital for, and what's going through your mind as you're in the hospital, suffering from these gunshot wounds and still in police custody? Because they took you from there to the DDC, correct?
Yeah.
Walk me through that.
Well, after I refused to talk to the investigators, they took the phones and stuff and told me I couldn't talk to nobody. So after that, the police set it outside the doors until I guess the blood had stopped. And then after that, I went to jail. I didn't get no reason why I was going to jail. All I knew I was going to jail was, I asked the officer, and he told me the two officers that was in front of.
So taken right to jail, but not to the hospital. That's sad. This is terrible to hear.
The door. I asked them what I was going to jail for, and they said they couldn't tell me. They was new to the case. So basically, I was just going to jail because I was going too slow to give him my insurance. That's all I knew that I was going to jail for.
And as you're in the hospital, what's running through your mind? You said they took your phone. Have you been able to get in contact with kids, family?
No, nobody knew I was shot.
How frustrating was it when you heard the narrative in the beginning of what happened, you're probably thinking that's not what happened, you know? How frustrating was that?
I didn't know what happened until I got to the jail, and the officers told me that the officer was hanging from my truck, and I said no, he wasn't. That never happened. And they told me I'll have my day in court.
When you were first pulled over, what gave you the indication that it could be kind of a dangerous situation?
When he told me about my plate,
Was it the officer's demeanor?
yeah.
Okay. Just leave it there.
Did the chief of police reach out to you when you finally saw the video, or?
No.
The chief, he did, he said that he was initially told some preliminary information about what happened, and then later came out and said the body worn camera footage of the incident was in stark contrast to what he was told happened. And he even, I can't remember what he said verbatim, had like a message for you and said, like, listen, we're getting her out of DDC. The charges against her are going to be dropped. Do you think the chief deserves any credit for how he came out and tried to clear up the situation that happened that day?
Yeah. I'm actually glad that he stood on business, but that still doesn't justify me getting shot.
How are you doing today with being shot 6 times? How are you feeling?
I'll be lying if I told you I was okay. Mentally, I'm not. Physically, I'm not.
How are your kids doing? I mean, how do you explain that to them?
I haven't explained it to them.
Do they know what happened?
No.
What's your recovery been like? 'Cause I mean, you like looking at you, you look great. No one would probably imagine that you've been shot 6 times and what have you. Walk me through what your recovery has been like, Tracy.
It hasn't been great. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's nerve damage. I got permanent marks that's never gonna go away on my arm and my legs, both arms. So it's not something that you can just roll.
You lost feeling in your hands, correct?
Yeah, like right now, my hand is cold and my other hand is not.
Where were you shot? Was it your arms and your legs?
Yes.
You initially drove to the precinct after the shooting. When you arrived, what was their demeanor like? Were they more accepting? Were they quick to offer you medical care?
When I got there, their guns was out on me, all of them. And I told them I was shot. That's when they got to surrendering first aid and cutting my jacket and stuff off.
From the time that you arrived to when they gave you the aid, do you know about how long that might have taken? I don't know. It's probably pretty hard to guess times.
Well, once I told them that I was shot, that's when they surrendered first aid. Well, the lady officer surrendered first aid.
So when you drove up to them, they already had their guns drawn?
Yeah.
Those
Because
officers were watching. What did you say to them?
I'm
If
sorry.
they're watching this right now, or you were what would you say to them?
I don't have anything to say to them at all. I mean, I basically
Everything's said in the lawsuit. The lawsuit's filed. They're gonna be served as office servers with our process server. The city's gonna be served. I expect sometime in the next few days. The officer is gonna be served as well. So the lawsuit, the complaint speaks for itself. She'll have her day in court.
Who's listed as the defendants? The officer and the
And
city?
Officer Zachary Melvin. I'll give you a copy of the complaint if you need it.
He's the only officer that fired the shots?
Yes, as far as my knowledge.
Officer Zachary Melvin. Wow. Hey, what's going on, Takasa? Good afternoon. This is a story of a woman that was shot 6 times by Detroit police unarmed during a traffic stop. Did not receive any type of medical attention or care, even when she got to the next police station that she was going to seek help, they pretty much were armed and ready to shoot her as well when she arrived at the station. And she's now suing the city of Detroit for $25 million.
The city hasn't released any body cam footage that I'm aware.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know the status?
We filed a FOIA request and it's been extended and we haven't heard anything. So now we'll move to the discovery process during the lawsuit.
Have you been in contact with the Ring County Prosecutor's Office, kind of where they stand on this case?
I have not. I would urge them to file criminal charges against the officer.
I was just going to say that too. I feel like they should be prosecuted civilly and criminally. They're already getting a civil by getting a lawsuit for the damages for the $25 million. But I feel like that's, attempted murder in so many cases. And she also had the other cop also had a partner who pepper sprayed her when he arrived on the scene. So I feel like he should be facing charges as well too.
Have you heard anything about any internal investigation, in DPD or how they might be handling this if they are reviewing the incident?
I have not. We've sent letters. Like I said, we filed our FOIA request. We notified them that she's represented by counsel. She's been represented for some time since this incident, and it's been crickets. They were pretty silent about even naming the officer who committed this heinous act against my client. The silence is deafening.
Did you just wait to file it now, just time to gather everything?
We were gathering information.
Where did you get the number from? I believe it was 25 million.
25 million, my client is going to be affected by this for the rest of her life. She's potentially looking at surgery. She has children that she's not able to provide for. She's in therapy. 25 million sends a message to the city. It sends a message to the police department and police departments across this country that this is not going to be stood for. You will be held accountably one way or another.
Since the incident till now, have the officer been disciplined in any way?
I don't know. That's something I would like to know.
So just to be clear, they've given basically no communication.
No communication. We've heard nothing at all.
A part of the information that you're trying to get on the officer, is there like a history of him responding in similar ways or any other incidents?
I don't know. I'm going to get that information during the discovery process as the case proceeds.
Yeah.
We're going to get his entire history, his entire officer file, and we're going to see if he's been involved in any type of incidents. It was hard enough getting his name in order to file the lawsuit.
This is a federal case?
It's a federal case, yes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we just, without the microphone, can you just kind of show us your injuries again?
Yes, you can do that.
Just standing right there.
So what are we seeing here, Tracy? You said, can you just kind of walk us, show us, so you were shot in that arm, 3 times?
No, 4.
So did any of them, if you don't mind me asking, did the bullets stay in your arm? Did any of them pass through you? Do you mind walking us through some of those details?
The 4 in my arm went in and out. The one in my leg, not sure.
You're not sure your name?
No.
Okay.
And the one in my right arm went in and out.
Wow, guys. So that's currently still going as of right now. No response from DPD as of right now. That happened back in October of last year. Give me 1 second for the next story. Yeah, I agree with you, Takasa. 25 is not enough. No amount of money can, fix the damage that was done, but yeah. I definitely agree with you. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, so the next story we're about to get into is a story that happened back in 2023. A 15-year-old boy who was shot at a hotel in Southfield, Michigan. But mother has yet to get justice. She's been screaming for justice for the past 2-3 years, and nobody's been hearing her. So I'm about to share this with you guys.
At a Southfield hotel room. We have learned that 15-year-old Tyler has died from his injuries. He was a sophomore at Loyola High School in Detroit. Police say that he was shot in the head last weekend while attending a sleepover party with friends. An adult rented the room for the teens, but then left the teens unsupervised. Police are still looking for the teen who allegedly fired the gun. They also still need to talk to the adult who rented the room.
So that was a story that happened a few years ago. As of right now, none of the people that were participating, they're not talking at all. They're still remaining silent. I'm about to share another story. If you can, share another video to that story. Sorry, give me 1 second. That kind of sound like similar to Kanika Jenkins when you think about it, when you listen to it. Hold on, guys. Be right back. Give me 1 second. And in regards to that hotel story, I feel like they need to really find out what's going on with the adult who rented that room. Also, I'm still here, guys. I'm just searching for more info. Because what is your connection, and why is a bunch of teenagers in your room? All right, so this is a news article. In relation to that story. It says hold on, make sure my screen is bigger for y'all. Oh, these ads is irritating. Dang. It says the investigation into the death of a teen who was shot in the head in a Southfield hotel room last year is stalled, police said. Southfield Police Chief Elvin Barron said Wednesday that witnesses to the shooting are not willing to come forward and tell investigators what happened. So they're not speaking, the other individuals that was participating in the room. We have physical evidence, we have circumstantial evidence, but what we need is an eyewitness to bring those things together, Barron said. We absolutely have an idea who did it, but no pressure is applied, right? Barron made the remarks during a morning news conference about the case at police headquarters. He was joined by Oakland County Assistant Prosecutor Justin Davis, Chief of Policy and Training for the Prosecutor's Office, Deputy Chief Aaron Hughley, and Police Lieutenant Mustafa Bazay. I believe that's how you pronounce that name. We have 4 witnesses to this senseless crime, but none of them have come forward to give us an understanding of what transpired, Barron said. To move this case forward, I need at least one of the 4 to have the courage to come forward and give us the information we need. So they just need one individual to speak to pretty much move forward and start arresting. He said the witnesses, all teens, have obtained attorneys through their parents and have not cooperated with investigators since March. Police said 15-year-old Tyler Johnson was shot and wounded at around about 8:42 a.m. on February 11th, 2024 in a room at the Westin at 1500 Town Center in Southfield. He was shot in the head and put on life support. Investigators reported he was among a group of teenage friends who had gathered in the room and were unsupervised. After the shooting, Southfield police arrested 2 teens who were fleeing from the room, including a 15-year-old Detroit boy who had 2 handguns in his waistband, Barron said. The second teen was released into his parents' custody, he said. So they arrested 2 of the individuals, but arrested them and let them go. Although we had apprehended an individual who handled 2 weapons, we need evidence that would determine who was handling the weapon that killed Tyler. At that time, it was discharged, and why it was a discharge. One of the handguns recovered, a Glock 22 .40 caliber, was reported stolen from Flint on June 5th, 2022. The ownership of the second handgun, a Glock 26 9mm, was unknown at that time. Officers also recovered a .40 caliber shell casing and a 9mm extended magazine with 20 live rounds from the scene. In addition, they found marijuana, mushrooms, and a scale. So we got drugs in the room. On Wednesday, Barron said the owner of the stolen gun had no connection to the group of teens or the victim. I was going to ask that too, like what was the connection between the stolen gun and these teenagers? But they got the gun somehow. And from Detroit to Flint, it's some distance. The chief addressed the victim's family frustration that no one has been charged in the case. The victim's mother is grieving and frustrated that her son's case has not moved forward, Barron said. She gets to grieve. No grieving parent wants to hear about legal hurdles. They want answers and justice for their child. And I agree. Barron said he had reached out to Tyler's family early Wednesday, but was not able to reach his mother. The chief added he spoke with a relative in Alabama as well as 2 friends of the family, however. He also addressed questions about whether the teen who had been arrested was tested for gunpowder residue. Barron explained the tests, while popular in the 1990s and 2000s, have been ruled inadmissible in court because they resulted in too many false positives. So they don't really rely on much on GSR then no more, huh? That's crazy. Lastly, Barron made a plea for the witnesses to come forward and get justice for their friend and his family. If this was you, you would want someone to step up. He said it takes courage to step up. We need evidence. And anyone with this information about the shooting should call the Southfield police at that particular number right here. Wow. This world is so sad. Yeah, it sounds like just her story. It does sound like the Kanika Jenkins story. And this mother is not, and ain't nobody hearing her at all. I hope that justice does happen. Hope she gets justice real soon. This case needs to move forward. Hold on, this is the last story for this live. The last story actually is about a 25-year-old who went missing in Michigan, and nobody knows anything. Nobody's telling the mother anything. So I'm going to share this story, and this will be the last story for the day. Hold on. All right, here we go.
5-year-old man vanishes, and now a week later, the questions are only growing. Tyler Bojanowski was last seen in Wyandotte, and his family says the silence since then has really been torture. Fox News' Lauren Edwards has been speaking with his loved ones and has the latest on the search to bring him home.
We spoke with the parents, and they tell us they are devastated. They are heartbroken that their son is missing. They've been trying to get the word out. Take a look at a flyer that's been circulating online and around town. Now, this is 25-year-old Tyler Bojanowski. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, 5'9", 200 pounds. Mom Nicole says she last spoke to him last Wednesday, and he went out that night but never returned home. He was last seen Thursday, February 5th, around 2:30 that morning. His vehicle was found by the Best Western in Allen Park on Enterprise Drive. Family, friends, loved ones have since been searching for him daily, looking all over downriver communities, including Dingle Park, where they think he might have wandered. His passport was also found. Nicole says he suffered a brain injury a while ago, but was recovering. She's been his main caretaker, and she says they're incredibly close. They talk all the time, and all she wants at this time is to hear his sweet voice again.
This has been so hard. It's not tearing my family apart because it's made us closer, but just I have 2 other kids. We're just all stressed out. I just want him home. I don't care what happened. I just want him home.
It's really hard. It's really challenging. It's really tough. We're really all heartbroken, missing him, and just want him home safe.
The parents say that Wyandotte Police behind me and Melvindale Police have been incredibly helpful, getting the drones out, getting the U.S. Coast Guard involved as well. And they're asking anyone with tips and information to please call the police as soon as possible. Reporting here in Wyandotte, Lauren Edwards, Fox 2 News.
So yeah, he's been missing for a few weeks now, since February 4th, I believe. But I'm about to read this article as well about him. Because as of recently, they did find a body was found. Well, some teenagers found a body, I believe, last week after this story had broke. I don't know if there's any connection, but I'm about to see if there is after I finish reading this article with you guys. It says a $6,000 reward is being offered for information that helps locate a Wyandotte man who disappeared earlier this month. A Facebook group said it is offering the reward for the safe return of Tyler Bojanowski. We are offering a reward for any information leading to Tyler's safe return, the group said in the post on Wednesday. I also want to thank everyone again for your prayers, shares, and continuing to search for our son. We couldn't do this without all of you. With Delray Dillon. Now, this article was reported as of February 20th. Bojanowski was last seen at about 2:30 a.m. on February 5th, according to the group. The 25-year-old's truck was found on Enterprise Drive near Oakwood Boulevard on the Allen Park and Melvindale border, police said in the Facebook post. And this is a picture of Tyler Bojanowski, and this is how he looks. And that's what he was wearing pretty much. Last seen wearing a black hoodie and black Vans with blue Dickie pants. Now, it's also known that he has recent traumatic brain injury. So it says on February 4th, Bojanowski went to a Wyandotte bar with a friend, and they both left at about 8 p.m. Wyandotte Police Chief Archie Hamilton said Friday. He told his friend he was going home, and they both went their separate ways, according to the chief. However, Bojanowski went to another friend's home and tried to convince that friend to join him at another bar, Hamilton said. After the friend declined his invitation, Bojanowski went to a bar alone and was there until about 2 a.m., police said. He sent a text message from the bar to another friend, but he was sleeping and didn't respond. I feel like all these friends need to be questioned if they already haven't been. A Melvindale police officer spotted Bojanowski's vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed and recklessly on Allen Road near Outer Drive at about 2:25 a.m., authorities said. At a high rate of speed is what it says. Sorry. Hamilton said the police officer went after the vehicle and found it on Enterprise Drive near Oakwood Boulevard on the Allen Park and Melvindale border. The officer found the vehicle in front of a large pink hotel, he said. There was no driver, the car door was open, the airbags had been deployed, according to the chief. So it sounded like there was an accident and he ditched the vehicle maybe. But where is he at? Because he's been missing for weeks. Hamilton said the officer also found Bojanowski's wallet and cell phone inside the vehicle. A preliminary investigation showed the driver lost control of the vehicle and struck a guardrail. Hamilton said investigators obtained surveillance camera footage from the nearby businesses that showed a person matching Bojanowski's description walking away from the scene. So he was able to walk away from the scene after the accident. He said Melvindale, Allen Park, and Dearborn police officers searched the area with drones, but they couldn't find him. Police obtained additional security camera video that showed Bojanowski at about 6:30 a.m. walking into John Dingle Park on Jefferson Avenue at Southfield Road and Ecorse, the chief said. So we have a video of him walking into the park right by the gazebo, but we don't have any video after that. That's the last time we're able to confirm his location. Wow. On February 6, Bojanowski's mother reported her son missing after not hearing from him. Investigators said a Good Samaritan called the Wyandotte police at about 12:30 p.m. that day to report finding Bojanowski's passport at the park while walking in the park the day before. Okay, so we got his passport at that same park, but he was missing from. Hamilton said police have searched the park with drones and a Homeland Security Investigations helicopter, but have not found anything indicating where he could be. We're still searching, but we don't have any further leads to where he could have gone at this time, the chief said. And then it goes into his description. He is described as having reddish blonde hair and blue eyes. He's about 5'9" and weighs 200 pounds, and he also wears glasses. The group said he was also wearing a black hooded New Balance sweatshirt, blue Dickies pants, and black Vans sneakers. And this is a picture of Tyler Bojanowski right here. Why? Enough is enough. These police officers are no good. We the people deserve so much more better. My God, yeah. We absolutely do. There's one last thing I'm gonna show. Searching for this last part of the story. If I can find it. Okay, so this was recent. Hold on. Can't find what I'm looking for. Because it was a story about some teens coming across a body recently, but they have not been able to identify who the body was. Oh, here it is. This may or may not be related, but this happened right afterwards. But they're not telling us nothing about this person that's missing.
Death investigation underway right now at Proud Lake after a man's body was discovered in Oakland County. Well, sheriff's deputies say the body of the man believed to be in his 20s was found this morning near Proud Lake by a park visitor.
Local 4's Khalil Maycock joins us live from where deputies spent hours investigating. And Khalil, you actually spoke to a group of homeschoolers who also saw the body.
Yeah, I spoke to that group after their parents gave them consent to speak with me. So they said they came down that walking path over there, and that's when they saw all of the police presence in this area, and they knew something was off.
What's going on, Chandra?
Investigators with the Oakland County Sheriff's Office spent hours walking the Huron fishing spot not far from Proud Lake, trying to determine how a man in his 20s died and whose body was found here this morning by a park visitor.
There's just police everywhere and blood like all over the place. It's crazy.
Talon Wagner Arellano was not the park visitor who found the body. However, he and a part of his homeschool group saw the body and deputies in this area. They're still trying to process their emotions.
I was just very surprised. Like, we were just out here hiking and there was just a dead guy out here. So I didn't really even know what to think.
I think insane something could happen like this.
Talon Wagner says after seeing the body, he was left with a lot of questions about who this man was. And I reached out to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office to ask if they had any more information to provide at this time, and they said they did not. But reporting live in Commerce Township, Khalil Maycock, Local 4.
Well, hopefully they will have some information to release in the days coming. We know you'll stay on it, Khalil. Thank you for your report this evening.
So that was that. Now, I don't know. They're two separate counties. So one is Wayne County, one is Oakland County, but they haven't identified who the person was that they found that those kids just found. So it may be him or it may not be him. Praying that it's not, and that Tyler is somewhere out there. But I just wanted to share those stories because those are stories that's happening in my community, but are not getting enough coverage or even people knowing about them or talking about them. But that's all I got for you guys. I wasn't going to keep you here long. I just wanted to share a few stories. I'll be back next Wednesday as well at 2 p.m. With different stories to talk about that's going on. So don't forget to, check in, tap in if you can. Replay gang, I see you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. You guys have a good one. To the next live.